Good morning, YouTube. This is Tacoma Comics, and I got a little haul for you and a little question. This is a redo of yesterday's video. I got interrupted by the sewer guy and by my son and by a whole bunch of other stuff, and I thought the video was kind of choppy. So even though it's live, I am redoing it. So if you watched yesterday's, I apologize. You're going to see kind of the same thing. I'm going to babble for about 1 minute here while I drink coffee out of my Darth Vader mug, see if anybody joins us, and then we'll get started. So, first of all, World Cup going on today. We've got Belgium and France in the semifinal of probably what are considered the two better teams. There's somebody on the radio this morning quipping that this is the real final. I'm like, no. Croatia and England are both really good. England has been a surprise. Croatia, if you've been following them the way my friend has, they're also really, really good and really tough. It's not a mistake that they've got Luka Modric playing for Barcelona. So you've got or Real Madrid, excuse me. Hey, Sean Richards, how you doing? Just getting a little chat going here before I show some comics. So for World Cup today, I've got a real interesting thing going on. I've got game starts at 11. At 10:30, you guys coming over to check out our sewer. And then at 1 o'clock, I got to be at the new house to go through inspection. And so if there is overtime or penalties, I'll miss them. But what's worse is tomorrow, I'm going to miss pretty much the first half at least because I've got a job interview right before the game starts. And then my friend, the Croatia fan who I watch the games with, he's got to go to work and do a presentation. So we're both kind of being a little upset by that. So don't know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to figure it out. Sean, what about you? You interested in World Cup at all? You got a team in the mix or not a sports fan? Let us know in the comments. So yeah, that's the crazy stuff going on in the World Cup the last 2 days, and then got a little bit more crazy. You're rooting for England. There you go. You're my friend already. Yeah, I mean, if England gets to the semifinals, man, for them to get to the finals would be amazing. Erase that kind of stigma of 1986 with Argentina in the hand of God. It's been since 1966 since we won. I want to get another little star in my England jersey. I'll get another jersey if they win. Yeah, totally going for England. Love to see them go. Their keeper, Ben Pickford, is on fire. But so are some of the other keepers. So I really don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, really excited for that. And then just, this move with the house. Anybody that's moved houses before, sold houses, bought houses, know how crazy it is. So I'm keeping the comics really small. I'm not going to get my LCS pickup tomorrow. But I found some dollar issue stuff going diving. Brazil looked really good until Belgium dismantled them, Sean. So yeah, I thought Brazil was, after round of 16 and group rounds in the early going, I thought that Brazil was looking really good, but Belgium, I think, handled them really well. Neymar just made a fool of himself with his flops. So who knows? I think Brazil did the right thing. They're kind of keep mixing up younger players. You keep seeing new players. Marcelo was amazing for Brazil, but not the rest of them. And then, I don't know, Argentina, Portugal, Spain, I think they need to go with a big youth movement. I think they're relying too much on older players who just aren't quite up to it. Plus, their stars can't handle it. Yeah, Marcelo really was. All right, looks like it's just you and me for now, Sean. If anybody else joins in, let us know in the chat. Let's get started. Dollar issues, first of all. Grabbed a little X-Men and the Micronauts, 60 center. So I know this is about the time that I started reading comics, especially looking at the X-Men. Kitty never looked like this by the time Storm got her mohawk, so it's a little artistically out of touch. Nightcrawler with the three fingers and the two toes there. That's the way I remember him. So classic X-Men cover, dollar pickup. I thought I'd get it. Going on with Micronauts, I got some kind of super minor keys, real minor keys. Right here we've got number 13. This is the first appearance of Jasmine. If you know who Jasmine was, you're a better Micronauts fan than I am. I wouldn't have gotten this at all, except I have issue number 1, kind of nice condition, and I know that people are talking about a Micronauts movie. This is kind of spec for me. I don't do a lot of spec books, but I did these, and these are not in great condition. These are 6s and 7s. This is The Death of Microton, issue 15. Believe me, I looked this up later and memorized it. I wouldn't know this off the top of my head with these guys. And then Jasmine, who was introduced in issue 13, died right here, issue 17. I only got one more coming up, Sean, so don't worry about it. And then this is the first appearance of the Death Squad. Lots of characters that you've never heard of and will probably never hear of again. So little Micronauts haul out of the dollar bin. And then, like I said, I'm moving, so I wanted to get a bunch of, wall decoration comics and stuff that my kids could read. So I hit the True Believers for $1. Got all these for $1 each. Little Ant-Man. So this is not the 221 with Ghost. This is the True Believer, but it's still kind of cool to read about that, so you know who Ghost is. Little Wolverine Sabretooth and a little Wolverine Blood Hungry. True Believer stuff there. Some nice reading, some nice covers, some nice throwback if you can't afford the original Avengers cover with this. To me, this is like the Avengers version of the Fastball special, right? This is Ant-Man on the end of Hawkeye's arrow. It's just such a classic looking cover. I prefer the Fastball special being an X-Men fan, but you never know. You got the Carol Danvers, Where Stalks the Sentry. Nope, it's not a question mark. It's Where Stalks the Sentry. Funny way to say that. A little Phoenix cover here and there. A little Phoenix Origins. Throwback X-Men costumes there. Really nice. Probably seen that story 1,000 times. And then went to Death of Phoenix. So a bunch of True Believer stuff I just thought was cool to have. They're super cheap, so not a big deal. I've got the second volume of Young Avengers that Kieran Gillen did, but with all the hype now, this is speculation. I don't have the big issues 1 or 6, but this is the first series. Heinberg, I don't know what is, and Xiang, I don't know what their first names are. With, I guess, Liv Xiang colors. This is 12 or the 11, on say, and then this is 12. So pretty excited for that little Young Avengers pick up and try to finish that run. If I could get them all cheap on eBay, might be able to get a package deal. I know number 6 is shooting up because of stature, and number 1 has a bunch of stuff. And there's sort of hints that Young Avengers might be one of the movies after Phase 4, but that's all speculation. Nobody really knows. This one I was super psyched to get for $1. It's in really good condition. There's a little like thumbnail thingy there, and the back has a couple wavy bits, but nothing that couldn't be pressed. It's in really nice condition, and that is Hawkeye #1 by Matt Fraction, David Aja, and Matt Hollingsworth for $1. That I am super, super psyched about. I'm sorry, Sean, which one? Because I'm just watching the chat as I'm going through, talking about the Hawkeye. If so, absolutely, man. Love that Hawkeye. Really love Matt Fraction's writing. Yeah. And that came out right as I was getting back into comics. I didn't collect that series. I probably will get like the hardcover omnibus because I don't want to fight for the back issues. I know they've got like half of them at half price books, but then I'll have like issue 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 13, 14, 15, and 20. And I'll spend forever trying to pick up the other ones. So I prefer to just pick up the omnibus since it's a past series. And as I've talked about in past videos, I'm trying to do a little less back issue bin diving. But when I find Hawkeye for $1, #1, I will pick it up. Same with this. #1, $19. This I paid a little bit for, but it's going consistently for $45, $50 on eBay right now. I am Miss Marvel. The thing about this is I have 3 sets of 1 through 19, or 2 sets of 1 through 19, and I have now 3 sets because this is #1. So I've got the 2 full sets of, not 2 full, 2 sets of 1 through 19 now, and 1 set of 1 through 19 with almost every single variant and every single second printing. So Sean, I will be selling these at some point. Not exactly sure pricing. I was probably going to talk to Great Legend and get on his show towards September, because right now all my comics, except what you see here, all my comics are in storage. But I will be selling a complete set of 1 through 19. Uh, probably on the auction show. Um, that might be the way to go. Yeah, I see you there a lot, man. You pick up a lot of stuff, because right now all my comics are in storage. So I couldn't like sell it to you anyway, because I have to go to the storage unit and pull out a whole bunch of stuff and rifle through a lot of bins. But I will have that, and his auctions go pretty cheap. Uh, Cheaper than you get on eBay, but I think for the sellers, it's great, because if you ever sold stuff on eBay, A, it's a pain to list them, and B, you're paying eBay fees. So the buyer gets a cheaper buy, and the seller gets more of his or her money back. So I think those YouTube auctions the way to go. I'll let you know for sure. If I do get on one of his auctions in a couple months after the new house is settled, I'll do a preview video of what I'm going to put up there, and keep that in mind for you. All right, half price book the other day. I went and got Kamandi Challenge #1. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Sean. They do. They get a really nice home. So I picked up #9 of this because I heard on a Graphic Policy TV podcast that #9 was an amazing issue. It was by Tom King. And I didn't know anything about Kamandi, and I didn't know anything about Kamandi Challenge. Apparently, the little device here is there's a different author on every single issue, and you have to end with like a cliffhanger, and the next author has to pick up your cliffhanger and continue it. So issue 9 was amazing. And then I saw issue 1. It's been sitting there forever at Half Price Books. Picked it up for $2. I think I've got issue 2 and 3 of this. So I just figured a Warren Ellis, Jason Howard book. I'll pick up issue #1 for $1, and hope that that's good. Yeah, the Kamandi read was really good. Tom King can do spectacular things. I know some people are iffy on his Batman run. I think he's had really highs on it, and then some arcs that were really bad, like the Booster Gold arc right before the wedding. I thought was horrible. But like War of Jokes and Riddles, the Gotham Girl stuff they started with originally, I thought was great. The stuff with Ra's al Ghul's daughter, I thought was dumb. So it just went up and down for me. But when he's on Vision, when he's on Mr. Miracle, when he's on Sheriff of Babylon, when he did his Batman Elmer Fudd crossover, like, everybody thought those were kind of joke crossovers. That Batman Elmer Fudd is a really good book. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, oops, that's out of order. So I want to give a shout out to any of my listeners who are listening to this. Comic Exposure. I ordered back in like January. I ordered the Star Wars #40 Virgin variant to the Princess Leia Adi Granov cover, and they took forever to ship it after the book was released. It took another 2 months. I tried to hit up them on Facebook, on Twitter. I kind of ragged on them a little bit, told people that they were not a good company, and I wasn't going to do business with them again. Then, because this is how these things go, they were the ones putting out or selling the Stephanie Hans Miss Marvel variant. And so I decided to go through them again. And I got to say, I got my stuff in excellent condition, super quick. It was released last Wednesday, and I think these books hit the mailbox on like Monday of this week. So obviously they can't ship before the Comic Book Wednesday. So 5 days later, they're much better. Really happy with the customer service. So I give props where it's due, and big up for Comic Exposure. I will stop ragging on them now. They did a really nice job. So I wanted to cut down on not cut down, but didn't want to pay a lot of shipping for one comic. So I also picked up a little Venomized Champions variant. I have more Champions #1 variants you could shake a stick at. I really don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but I figure I just add that one because it looked pretty cool. I love this because it's Jax the Space Bunny, but it's not like the goofy colors that you see him in. It's just this outline. So, I mean, if you took those ears off, this is almost a serious cover, but this is Chip Zdarsky having fun with a variant for Vader Down. Really pretty cool right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I hadn't seen it either until I went on Comic Exposure website. I don't know if it's a store exclusive or just something that they had a lot of, but it was marked down pretty cheap. I was going through their specials and stuff. So yeah, I picked it up. It's pretty cool. Obviously, everybody knows Miss Marvel now. This is about as awesome a cover as that Jorge Molina variant number 2, which is one of the 3 books that I don't have in the entire Volume 3 run. For anybody out there that wants one of these, hit me up. I'm totally willing to do a trade. I just got them for cover price, so I'm not looking to be exorbitant. They're going on eBay for anywhere from like $20 to $50, but I'm more than happy just to make a trade for something. You really want to get specific, I want Miss Marvel Volume 3, number 5, second printing. That's the only one of the multiple printings I don't have. Along with that, I picked up the Art Germ variant to Catwoman. I have not yet read this. I got to open up here. It's a really good story. People are saying that as Joelle Jones is doing a really nice job on it. So that's Mike Allred on the art, or Laura Allred on the art. I don't know. I got to check that out. Looks really cool. So little Art Germ variant. Probably not my favorite. I've seen some better variants, but I like that one. And that's what Comic Exposure had. So here's the last one of the day. Save the best for last. So there are 3 comics I'm missing in the Volume 3 Miss Marvel run. I'm missing number 5, second printing. That's not an exceptionally rare or expensive book, but it's hard to find. I just can't find anybody that has it. I'm missing the Jorge Molina variant for number 2. That's the $1,000 book. That will be like my grail. And when I sell tons of books, that's what I will buy. I will definitely sell and sacrifice some books to get that. And then the other one is Art Adams did a 1 in 50 color variant for number 1, and then a 1 in 100 incentive variant for sketch of the same cover. I had the sketch one. I got a good deal on eBay like a year ago. I got Art Adams and Willow Wilson to sign it. So I've got the author and the cover artist. I'd love to get Adrian Alfano on that. But then I had a chance on Amazon to buy what looked like the color one, right? So one of the 3 comics I needed was on Amazon. It was $100, and for 1 in 50 variant, figured $100 is not that bad. It was $9.8. It was slabbed. I don't necessarily want slabbed books, but it was a good price, and that's getting harder to find. So I even checked on Amazon after I got this, and the picture was the color variant. So when I opened up my mail yesterday, I found another copy of the of the black and white variant by Art Adams in a 9.8. So what do I do? This is the 1 in 100. The color is the 1 in 50. I already have this one, but this thing looks so beautiful, and I'm so incredibly reluctant to get rid of this. I checked it out. There's 1 copy in eBay right now listed at $350. My comic shop has one listed at $350. $350 seems to be the going price on this. I got it for $100. It looks gorgeous and amazing. I'm leaning towards keeping it. You know, I could sell it, probably get that color one and get something else. I could sell it and keep the main PayPal towards the Jorge Molina. But just having this comic is making me super excited. Really want to keep it. Yeah, Sean, you're the second person to have said that. And I think I might be fooling myself. I think I already know what I'm doing. I love the Miss Marvel. I don't love the Captain Marvel cheesy kind of face there, but just the overall cover. You know, it's a number 1. It's a 1 in 100 incentive. It's Art Adams. You know, she's going to appear in Marvel Universe. So pretty excited for this. Probably, you're absolutely right. I will keep it. Probably just fooling myself, but might get it cracked and get it re-signed if I can find Art Adams and Willow Wilson together. They're at Emerald City this year. I'm probably going to skip Emerald City this time around, just because I've been there. And you know, unless I was able to get educator tickets for free last year, but I had already bought my regular tickets because I didn't know about that. but it's just so tiring. It's such a big thing. So if I can find these two together, I might crack it. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you guys can see, there's like a wider white bit here. So they graded it at 9.8. Then when they slabbed it, they didn't slab it totally flat. Even on the top, it's a little straighter here, and then the cover comes down. I don't know if you can see that at all, but you can definitely see on the side here. It gets that white line is the page is showing through, and then it goes away as you get down to the bottom. So it was graded 9.8, and legitimately it's still a 9.8, but they could have done a better job in slabbing it. So there's that. Yeah, it's definitely not a deal breaker, and I definitely don't want to send it back. The only thing I do if the guy had the color one, but I look on Amazon and they're like, there's none left. So I'm going that. So Sean, when is New York City Comic Con this year? What's the dates? I've never been to New York City Comic Con myself. I was not into comics when it was a thing. I was into comics before and after it was a thing. Back when I was into comics and I lived in New York. October 5th, nice. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, back when I lived in New York, when I was growing up as a kid, they had like at CW Post University or something out in Long Island, they had like actual Comic Cons where it was just dealers with comics, maybe a couple authors, but none of the big stuff now. Yeah, so I'm going to Rose City Comic Con September 8th, I think 8th, 9th, and 10th, and that will be our big one. Sweet. Do you live in New York, Sean, or are you close to there? New Jersey, gotcha. All right, well, I hope you enjoy. Sounds like it should be a lot of fun. A lot of great exclusives. There's already Miss Marvel something exclusive, like button or something at San Diego Comic Con that I'm psyched to get, but I'll have to see if I can get that from somebody, because I will not be going to San Diego Comic Con. I don't think that I would ever go to that. It's just too big and too much. Like Emerald City is big enough. You got to get everything ready, your stretches and your calisthenics, and get ready for New York City. Hope you have a really good time. And thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to end this now. Talk to you all later.